Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Vigorous Shooter. Today I'm going to talk to you about how it's like to be an amateur photographer in a world where images dominate our internet, our social media, and we're practically seeing images all around us. But the thing is, as an amateur, we're looking from the outside in like, oh my God, I wish my photos could be on a display like this guy's photo or her photo. In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you can expect as a up-and-coming photographer, all the way to becoming a pro based on my experience. A little bit about my background. When I decided to become a photographer, I thought I needed the latest gear. At the time, I was really looking at the Canon 5D Mark IV. I'd go to Best Buy all the time just to see the display and play around with it. And I'll drag my girlfriend along with me and she'll be so sick of it. She's like, Jethro, like, why don't you just buy a cheap camera and work your way up to that, full frame beast of a 5D Mark IV. I'm like, no, if I don't have that camera, I don't want to shoot anything. Throughout that whole time, I'm just looking at photos, I'm looking at depth of field, shallow depth of fields, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to have that. But at the same time, days was going by, I wasn't creating anything. Now, until one time I got fed up, I said to myself, all right, look, listen, I can either start off with a $600 camera and work my way up, or I can use my cell phone, which is technically a $700 camera. It was an iPhone 6 at the time. It's technically a $700 camera. Why not start off with that and then build my way up to a DSLR and then after that to a full frame beast? I decided to start taking photos with my cell phone. I started to create really great content with my cell phone. I'm in love with car photos. So I would see how these guys edit their photos and get that commercial billboard look. And I'm like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to pursue. Having a cell phone in my hand, I was taking pictures of cars, pictures of my car, and editing them to look as good as possible. Later on down the line, as I build my skill up a little bit, my girlfriend decided to start a YouTube channel. And at that point, I felt like, okay, it was time for me to upgrade. I stayed online doing research on what are the best cameras to use as an amateur photographer. Canon 70D, that was one of my favorites at the time. If I can't get the 5D, at least I could get the 70D. As I kept doing research, I came along the Canon T6, and I'm like, wow, that's actually affordable. It was on eBay for like $450. At the time with like hella kits. So I said, okay, in this kit, I'll get a tripod. I'll get, some of the necessities that I'll need as a photographer to start, shooting and practicing. So I went ahead and saved up money and decided to buy that camera. One thing that I found that was crucial is that you have to start to understand the ISO. You have to start understanding the shutter speeds. You have to start understanding the focal lengths. Not putting that time behind learning on how you could get comfortable with those settings will actually hinder your skills. So the first thing I did was I spent a lot of time practicing those settings and shooting at different locations and testing, how fast I could switch to a setting to get what I want. I didn't understand what they were. I didn't go to photography school. So I was on YouTube a lot, watching a lot of videos and putting in practice hours. Once I came to the point where I knew the settings quickly and I knew how to like switch around them and I got a gist of what to do, that's when I started to like really take photos, serious photos of like people that I knew, like friends and family, trying to build my personal portfolio. At the time, I wasn't planning to go pro. I just wanted to keep it as a hobby kind of thing, but knowing that it would have eventually go pro because my girlfriend always told me, what's the point of doing it if it's not gonna make you money? If you have a passion in photography, at some point, you have to at least go pro or at least sell your photos on stock. Now, the biggest mistake I made as I was, practicing and all of that, I found out that editing my photos was probably one of the biggest mistakes I made because I started to rely on my editing and not on my skills. And that kind of like pushed me back a couple years because if I were to take the first 6 months with my DSLR, with my Canon T6, if I were to take that first 6 months and implemented taking great looking photos straight out of the camera, I would have been a way better photographer than I was earlier at my stage. But what I was doing is I would take photos here and there and then take them to Lightroom or use some type of mobile app on my phone and edit them. To any amateur coming up, I would say to really focus on your shots, hone your settings, and get all of that in place first before you even start to think about editing your shots. Because if you can't take great photos right off the bat, you're not really a good photographer. To continue, next, after you start doing that, what you would want to do is you would start to want to build a strong portfolio. A portfolio is basically something that shows your scope of work, and it should be your best work possible. So when clients look at it and they're trying to make their decision on hiring somebody, then they could say, wow, I like this guy's work or I like her work. I'm gonna go ahead and hire them for whatever shoot I'm doing. So one way to go about building your portfolio is to go on social media. On Instagram specifically, there's tons of models that are looking to build their portfolio as well. And most of the time they will say, all right, no problem, I'm okay with it. If they're serious about what they do, they will always utilize that chance they get to practice in front of a camera as well. Now, what comes with that is you have to understand the type of niche that you wanna shoot in. So if you want to shoot fashion, if you want to shoot cars, if you want to shoot, let's just say headshots, you really have to start telling your models and staging your models in a way where it's going to be represented well in your portfolio. Because at the end of the day, you want to put all your energy behind these shoots because those are what's going to land you work. As you continue building your portfolio with that, getting at least 10 to 15 different faces on your portfolio. And also you could change up the environments a little bit. You know, sometimes do indoor, sometimes do outdoor, sometimes do rainy weather, you know, just to show what you can actually do. Now you want to go ahead and attract clients. What are some of the best ways that I attracted clients? Was messaging them and say, hey, listen, I'm a photographer and this is the kind of photography I offer. I'm willing to shoot X, Y, and Z in return so I could have it for my portfolio and start to build a relationship with that client. The first shoot, you're going to kill the shoot. You're going to go above and beyond. You're going to do it as if that client was paying you $50,000 to do that headshot for say, right? You're going to go all out because when they speak about their headshots, they're going to tell everybody else how amazing you were and what type of experience you gave them. And now that's what's going to bring in those paying clients. All right, so you continue, you go around, let's just say you get 5 different people and offer them free shoots, but you know they're 5 different people that can bring in other crowds. Then you could start using photography platforms. Thumbtack is a really good one that a lot of people can actually be successful on, but you will need a lot of capital up front to even start working on that platform. And there's always Craigslist, there's always social media. So it's all about getting creative and approaching your clients. Never sit back and wait for your clients to come get you. Always find a way to go get your clients. Now that you're starting to get a lot more clients and you started to develop a workflow around what you do, it's very important now to start putting a system in place on how you could give the clients a better experience. And either through the phone, either through an email, what you're going to do is you're going to upgrade your brand a little bit. And with doing that, that's going to allow you to expand yourself, right? And then able to charge more. If you were starting out with $50 for headshots, just because your system upgraded, you will now charge $110 for headshots, and so on and so forth. You continue wash and repeat, and next thing you know, you're getting $350 per headshots because you've created a clean system and you've created a clean workflow that allows you to work smarter and not harder. In another video, I'm going to break down the process on what it takes to come from a freelancer to a professional production company. Now it's all about running different campaigns and bringing in more of the clients you like. And from there on, if you want to scale up, you can, because now you can duplicate yourself and hire other people to do exactly what you do. And that's what it looks like to go from an amateur to a professional, literally overnight, if you are dedicated to the craft, not only just on the content side, but also on the business side too. I hope you guys got a lot of insight from this video. And if you did, please leave a thumbs up. And if you have any questions on how to become a better photographer and how to have your processes be better than they are right now currently, leave me a message down below and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. All right? Don't forget to subscribe for the channel for more videos and more information on business and content creation. All right? I'll see you guys later in my next video. Deuces.